Good is whatever society happens to determine is good. Evil is what society happens to determine as evil. However, I think that there's a problem with that. And I'd just like to see, instinctively here, who thinks that killing 6 million human beings because they belong to a particular race is evil? Who believes this? Hands up if you believe it's objectively evil and it could never be good. Right? Okay, that's interesting. Most of us believe it's objectively evil and it could never be good. But imagine here, take this as a thought experiment. Imagine the world was taken over by fascists. And fascists persuaded everybody in the world through their use of propaganda and media that every Jew should be eliminated. Therefore, according to the social norms of society, humanity at large would consider it to be a good thing to do. If good is determined by what most of the people in society happen to decide is good. Now, I'm sure that it doesn't take a lot of thinking for you to realize where such an ideology can lead. Humanism, in reality, is no more than a bunch of wishy-washy post-Christian ideals. Most of what humanists believe are Christian ideals with God taken out of the equation. They only happen to have these ideals because British society is still highly influenced by the Judaic-Christian tradition. But that is changing. It's changing rapidly. And so the things that humanists are beginning to accept are things that Jews and Christians, by and large, just wouldn't accept. But what are their principles? What do they determine? Upon what basis is right and wrong determined? What? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you? Well, that sounds nice. It sounds a good principle to start with. But what if you, I don't know, what if you're a sadomasochist? Huh? Maybe you like that. Well, maybe you like being whipped and beaten. I don't know. Huh? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people who, mashallah, their Friday night is spent seeing how much extra hot curry they can eat, and then how much alcohol they can consume in order to put it out. Alcohol, of course, is a poison. It's a poison. And no sane human being would really consume large quantities of it. And that leads us to another point. Look at this society. What would you say, looking at Western society, what would you say? You tell me, what do you think the raison d'être is? For what reason do we exist as human beings? Looking at Western society, what would you say is the reason that they tell us and the things that they tell us that we should do with our lives? What do you think? Yeah, what do you think?
They tell you that what you're meant to do, you're meant to work, get money, spend money, and do whatever you want with it. As long as you don't clash with them law. And when you clash with them law, then they clash with you.
Okay.
But they make more money out of you.
Okay, that's interesting. Anyone else? I like that. Anything else? What would you say? Yes, sister. Yeah. So there's no accountability. There's nothing going to happen to you after you die. This life is it, right? So live it to the max. Thank you very much. There's no pie in the sky. There's no paradise. There's no hellfire. There's no day of judgment. You're not going to be reincarnated as, a cockroach or a rat or something else. No. There's no consequence after you die. This is it. If you want to enjoy your life, enjoy it right now to the max.
And that's society judging.
Huh?
And let society judge.
And let society judge you. Okay, and let society judge you. Okay, that's interesting. Let society judge you. Who controls... Let me put it this way. This is a question I always used to ask kids when they used to come and visit me in the London Central Mosque. I used to ask them this question. Where do you get your idea of right and wrong and good and evil and what I should do and what I shouldn't do from? Yeah? I should do this, I shouldn't do that, I should be like... Where do you get your ideas of that from?
Family.
From your family, right? So it starts with your mum and dad. Huh?
Family, community.
Family, your community. Where else? Anyone else?
Media.
Okay, the media. That's interesting. The media. Yeah? What do you think is more powerful in influencing people's behavior? Your family or the media?
Family.
I think the media. Now, here's another question.
Family.
Who is the media controlled by? Who controls? Okay, that's one individual, right? And let me ask you another question. How does the media make its money, by and large? How does it make its money? Huh? Through? Through advertising. I mean, aside from the BBC, which is paid for, right, through the license, the TV license, every other channel has to make its money through advertising. Don't you think, therefore, there has to be some sort of symbiotic relationship between the advertiser and the programming? The things you see and the things you watch? I mean, say advertisers say, well, I don't want my advert for Nike trainers, yeah, to be put on at the same time when you've just done an expose of Nike showing that they don't own a single factory and how they exploit poor people all over the world in order to produce their trainers. I mean, I have never seen a program about that. Probably because if they put a program about that on, people like Nike would withdraw their multi-billion-dollar advertising contracts, which they rely upon. How useful, therefore, is the media in letting us know what's really going on in the world? I mean, think about it. What is the purpose of advertising? To get you to do what? To get you to buy things, right? To consume. To buy. To consume. Buy this, buy that, have this, have that. To get you to look in a certain way, behave in a certain way, listen to certain things, wear certain clothes, go on certain holidays. It's all about making you a consumer. That is why we live in a materialistic consumer society. And because the advertising industry is what by and large supports the media, you can be sure that by and large what the media tells you is to be a consumer. Buy this, buy that, have this, have that. And so the ideology of Western society, as the sister said, live your life to the max. Live your life to the max by and large means make sure you have nice clothes, make sure you have a nice car, make sure you have a nice house, make sure you have this, make sure you have that, make sure you buy this, make sure you buy that. Make sure you have a beautiful girlfriend, a beautiful boyfriend, you know. That's what it's all about. You know, or even a boyfriend if you're a boy now, and a girl if you're a girl, right? It doesn't matter, right? You know, it's just do it. You feel like it, just do it. Yeah, it's natural, they tell you. Everything's natural. Just follow your impulses. Because anyway, you're just an animal, really. There's no spiritual dimension to you. There's no accountability. You're not going to have to stand in front of some God and answer for what you have to do. The only people you have to answer for is society. And don't worry, we're working pretty hard on making sure that we change society's opinion so that, you know, you can really just do about almost anything you want.